In Excel, and particularly on the Data tab in the ribbon, there's a button called Remove Duplicates. And the same is true in Power Query. You can also remove duplicates. Let's start first of all by duplicating some of the queries that we have in our Power Query. We have, for example, got a sales 2019 to 2021 query that I want to click on here. Now, to duplicate it, one of the ways is Control C, Control V, and that just makes a copy and paste. And then if I press F2, I can edit that and just call it brands list. Now I want to create another duplicate of this query. So I click on sales 2019 to 2021, Control C, Control V makes another duplicate at the bottom of my list of queries. And then I just press F2 and I call that countries list. So I'm wanting to create a unique list of brands and a unique list of countries based on the sales 2019-2021 query. I go to the brands list, and what I want to do here is I actually want to remove the duplicates in the brands column. So I right click the brands column and I have the option here to remove duplicates. If I click that, I'm left with 11 unique brands. From there, I can then choose to remove those columns that I don't want. So I want to remove all columns except for brand. So I go to remove columns and remove other columns. And that gets rid of all the columns except for the one I was sitting in. Now let's do that again for countries. If I go to the countries list, I want to create a unique list of countries. So I go to the remove duplicates. Now it's not actually a button up here on the home tab. On the transform tab, remove duplicates. Yeah, I tend to use the right click. So right click and remove duplicates. Again, I'm left with 3 unique countries. I want to get rid of all the columns except for this country column. So with the country column chosen, I go to home, remove columns and remove other columns, leaving me with 1 column of unique, not duplicated, unique countries. And so that's a very handy feature as well. Now the other thing I want to have a look at is fill column. And filling columns is really handy when the data doesn't have a complete entry in some of the rows. So for example, I'm going to go and import a particular Excel workbook. So I'll go to New Source, Excel Workbook, and I want to bring in the textiles. Let me just go to where I want to grab this from. I want to grab the file called Textiles December 2021, and I'm going to click open. In here is a sheet simply called sheet 1, and there it is there. I'm going to click it, tick it, and notice how there's big gaps in here, and I'm going to bring it in. Okay. What I'd now like to do is I'd like to actually rename the query. So I'm just going to right click, rename, or actually just press F2 and call it Textiles 2021. Okay. Now what I'd like to do is rename this column. So I click on column 1, press F2 and call that State. Click this column 2, press F2 and call that Channel. Click column 3, press F2 and call that Category. All right. Now I need to really get rid of all the nulls. So I would like to replace all the nulls here with WA for Washington, or the nulls here with OR for Oregon, and all of these for California. These ones get replaced with retail, wholesale, and this one says kids, art, sports, dinosaur, etc. So I need it to fill down what is above. I click on State for starters, and to fill down, I'm going to go to the Transform tab. And here's the option here to fill, and you can fill down or you can fill up. But I want to copy WA all the way down, OR all the way down, so I go for the fill down option. And when I click it, that's exactly what it's done. Now let's do the same for channel. I'll click on channel, I want to fill down, and it populates the cells correctly. I go to category and I fill down, and it populates again. Very, very handy way of filling in and populating to create complete records in rows.